Absolutely. Well, a newly published book seeks to shed a new light on the history and myth of one of the greatest biblical characters, Moses. Well, I24 News correspondent Uri Shapira sat down with the author and asked him about his new approach to an ancient faith.
Many books and interpretations have been written over the years regarding the biblical story, but none of them are quite like this. Renowned Professor Shlomo Shoham, an Israel Prize laureate from Tel Aviv University, claims that the origin of monotheist faith actually comes from Moses and not from Abraham, as Jewish belief has it.
Abraham and Jacob and Isaac, these are a different era. These are the patriarchs. These are way back in Mesopotamia, Ur-Kasdim. These are mythological figures. There is no vestige of proof for their existence. Moses is a different story altogether.
According to Professor Shoham, Moses was the son of Pharaoh Amenhotep IV, who had a revelation and established a new kingdom in the desert district Achet Aten, today known as Amarna. Later on, Moses himself had a spiritual revival, a combination of two visions which brought us the Jewish faith we know today. Shoham also suggests some provocative assumptions. He claims that Moses' stutter came as a result of unwanted sexual molestation by his father. But he also suggests that Pharaoh did actually help Moses and his people to leave Egypt and save them from the pagans who wanted to slaughter them. He also has some juicy interpretation regarding the golden calf.
I collected the gold and made the golden cow, not the calf, the golden cow of the goddess Nut. And the people the Shapira people, the Hebrew people, made an orgy. This is the way they worshipped.
This may sound like a joke to some believers, but the book Moses, the Righteous Sky Gazer, is based on 10 years of research. Shoham, a former student of legendary anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss, based his research on the lithographs he received from top Egyptian archaeologist Professor Othman, who was close to former leader Hosni Mubarak. After Mubarak's fall, the archaeologist was imprisoned and the connection was lost. However, Professor Shoham says his main goal is not necessarily to find scientific evidence to the biblical story.
I'm utilizing myths, and mythology to me is not a legend. Mythology to me is not a lie.
Who was the real Moses? Perhaps we'll never know for sure, but for Professor Shoham, the Jewish prophet was as real as it gets. And even if he himself did not exist, his legacy continues for thousands of years.
And Moses didn't want to go into the promised land, to the wars, to the conflict, and to paganism. The conquest of the promised land was not for him. He left it to others.